Is it weird to have drawed as a passion? You decide. But really, we're going to begin level 7. Or the 7th level, if you want to be exact. This level is pretty, and it's going to have a new enemy, which I'm actually really thrilled to talk about, because we haven't had a new enemy for the past 3 floors. Maybe 4. I don't know. It's been really long. And even though we do got a new enemy, I'm sorry to say, but yeah, we're not done with the old ones yet. So I promise you this is the last eye swarm room. We'll never see one of these eye swarm rooms again. I can promise that. Like, if I lied to you just now, then you can punish me in any way you wish. Seriously though, I believe this is the last eye specific room we'll ever have to look at, or just eye spam room. And actually I lied, this is the last eye spam level. There's actually another eye spam room that we're going to do right after this room. Then it's done with the eye spam rooms. And while I don't mind eye spam rooms, in later games, the eye spam rooms are actually harder than the ones in this one, I believe. Maybe not harder per se, but more in-depth. You're not just trying to fight one at a time. You actually have to think about order and stuff. And if you watch my Cube of Memories playthrough, you will know that one of those rooms were very similar to that retrospective. But basically, we're just going to clear this room. It's just been a swarm room like we have normally at it. And we can almost, and I mean almost, be done with it. With these type of rooms. There are going to be Roach swarm rooms in the future, but don't worry, don't fret. Those are still pretty fun. Mostly because level 9 is going to be a really interesting level to play through. Actually, level 8 will be. The game really starts to kick in on the 7th level. This is where the game really takes a turn for the better. At first, it's kind of simple. It may turn off some players, but when you hit level 7, that's usually where the kickstart happens. The kickstart for me was level 1, but, you know, we're all different, right? This is definitely the king of kickstart levels. So, this room, I have my sword facing straight up, and I'm not going to turn it, because the challenge of this room is do not turn your sword. As far as I know, you can only clear this room starting on this side, and having your sword straight up. I've seen no other way to do so. So, I'm not even going to, touch my fingers onto the arrow keys. That's what I use for my sword turning. And what we want to do is make sure that 2 of these guys do not ever get connected like that. The reason being is because, well, they're going to be next to each other. We can't turn our sword. So it leads to some quite big issues. Now, the reason I have to start with my sword straight, well, let me explain. I need to keep this eye alive. The reason why is because of not you. Not you either. Alright, I guess we're gonna hold off on my explanation of why. Because of just these eyes being a nuisance. Stop. Because of these two. These two we cannot separate no matter how hard we try unless we have that eye alive. There may be another eye you can keep alive, but that's the only eye I've been able to find that is actually credible. Those guys I haven't seen no other way to kill. There may be a way, there may not be a way. I don't know. So we're going to style move down. And we are going to still move with style. Make sure these guys do not, I guess, get behind you because of obvious reasons. And reading the scroll, clear the room without turning your sword to prove that it is an actual challenge, and I'm not just making this up. Though you guys wouldn't think I would lie, right? I would never lie. No. I would never do that. Oh, great. Okay. So this is the tricky part. Also, that bottom eye that I just grabbed, that's this one right here. Yeah, I don't see other way to get him other than doing what I just did. And this eye we have to avoid contact with. And we can go kill him, and this will be our last eye.
Aha! Now that's efficiency. Wait till I tell the Smite Masters Guild about that feat.
Eyes on the prize. And finally, and I mean finally, we get to the new enemy. What we've all been waiting for who knows how long. This is the beginning of the snakes. I don't know their official name off the top of my head. I just call them the snakes. Actually, they might be called snakes, and the blue ones are rattlesnakes, and the green ones are adders. But this is the snake. If you notice, he moves and his tail moves, the back of his tail. It seems kind of weird for a movement. Maybe not. It's pretty understandable. We'll just watch it a little bit. You see how he kind of moves around, and his tail moves with his body. So technically, his length of his body is never growing. So keep that in mind. And what happens if we open this door? Okay, sorry about that.
My blade won't scrape one scratch off that squirmy fellow. Let's just lead into a dead end, and I'll be rid of him.
Just as Beathro said, our sword cannot harm this thing. Yeah, you can tell. I'm stabbing it all I like. It will never hurt it. You can go to its tail. Not gonna do a thing. Not one thing. But there is something to keep in mind about this little guy. First of all, he cannot move diagonally, as you can tell. His body may seem a little weird. His movements might seem a little weird. Every 5 turns, he tends to turn his body. I did not know that, actually. But every 5 turns, he will turn his body. So I never actually knew that myself, and I don't want to demonstrate that just yet, so we're going to have him go there. So you can move. He'll try to move towards you like a roach will, and yeah, he'll move like in a snake-like pattern, as I like to think of it. His movements are a little strange, but you will get used to it eventually, and we will have a level dedicated to it, so just bear with it. This is a level dedicated to it, but there will be another level. And so, if you see, when he's in a dead end, his head can't move, but his tail will still move. Meaning, right now, when he's in a dead end, his body will shrink until he's dead. Very, very useful to know. But we actually have a challenge for this room. We have to use the southeast dead end, which is actually really easy. Might not seem easy, but it is. So, let's go ahead and get that sorted out. See? That was literally just it. So, that's pretty much all you need to know about them. No way out. Challenge completed. Until the next room, actually. This room, I will demonstrate another thing about these guys. First of all, other than the obvious fact that if you move diagonally, they will be slower. If you notice about this snake, other monsters can kill them. Essentially because now that snake is stuck in a dead end because of this other snake's body. If you use like a roach or an eye or any other enemy, and you place them where in such a way where the snake can't move, that's considered a dead end. And there's something else I would like to demonstrate, but I don't think I'll be able to demonstrate it in this exact room. Ah, yes I will. Now, carefully look at this snake, and they can kill themselves. So let's wait for these guys. I don't want more than one. They have the ability to kill themselves because that's just how they work. And so the way you're supposed to clear this room is get them in here and kill them and have them dead end themselves. The smiter always strikes twice. Challenge completed. And yes, the scroll says that we only have to strike the orb twice to clear the challenge. Simple. Now, yes, we just learned about snakes in these last 2 rooms. They can kill themselves, they die to dead ends, blah, blah, blah. But now we're going to have to deter from that. We got to go to this room. Yeah, we just spent time doing all those snakes, and now we have to go back to roaches. Just how King Dugan's dungeon trolls us. How it trolls us. But this room seems a little complicated, but trust me, it really isn't if you go to this roach, this roach, this roach, this roach, this roach, this roach in that exact order. So just take them one at a time and go back up. That's the original way you do it. I say it doesn't look that hard, but it really isn't if you do it that way. But I'm going to do the challenge, which is I must kill if you read that scroll, it'll say I must kill the top left roach first, and then the bottom roach second, bottom right roach second, and then kill the rest in any order. This may seem simple, but trust me, it is not. So we're going to begin with the obvious. Those are pretty much given. And now, instead of killing those guys like I might seem like you want to do, just ignore them. And get down here as soon as possible. And kill these guys in your favorite way. And do like that. And now that those roaches are far away enough, you can actually walk down this hallway and have enough time to turn around. That might seem the pinnacle of the challenge, the really hard part of it. And here I can demonstrate that I can't turn fast enough if they're close. But the challenge doesn't really end there, because it may seem like it'll be easy once you can go in any order, but it doesn't actually make it that much easier. In fact, I'm still not even sure the best way to do this. So I'm just going to go ahead and sneak through like this and try to clear these guys as fast as possible. There we go. Now we can go ahead and get that one. And finally, this, my friends, is where the ease comes in. Maybe. Yeah, it's much easier from here. So a very interesting challenge, how that works, how you could do that. It's amazing. I like it. I get amazed by really weird things, and that's why I say draw is my passion. Seriously, if this game got popular, it would be the best day of my life. That's all I could say. That would make my life right there. Not really. There's other things that would make my life much more, but up, up, down, down, left, right, left, right. Love that. But yeah, so draw is definitely a passion of mine, and I hope that, again, the community can grow, even if it's very small growth, and that the community stays alive, because I just love this game. It's the best puzzle game ever made, in my opinion. Hardest one ever made, in my opinion. A lot of people can debate that. It's just they never finish the game. They go through the first level and they're like, oh, this game is really easy. Why is this considered a hard game? Because they never actually play through the game. So, but that's just dumbness at its finest. So we have this room, enough from the complaints, and this room is kind of like a snake maze. So another thing about snakes is arrows, the red ones at least, is arrows, they cannot move on, regardless of what directions. They will die to it. It's just kind of interesting how that works. So now we want to wait for this one and go ahead and dead end that one. And now that other one's stuck in the room, but we can deal with him later. Next, we want to hit this and get those guys to die in some way. Whether it be do it that way or whatever way you find fit. The general idea is to kill these three, though. We want to get them back into here and kill them that way, as that one just did. Now, how you would kill this one is you would use this. I didn't do that just yet. It's just because I'm going to redo this room anyway, and I wanted to show you the original way. When you do clear all these snakes, you'll have this one left, and there's only one good way to go about killing him. What is that, you may ask? Well, not that. So the timer is really important in this. And basically what we want to do is stay right here until he turns his body, and we want to keep doing that until his body turns a lot. You just keep moving back and forth. Basically, if you saw what I did, basically just go diagonal when he's in your row, but then go straight when he's not in your row, and that's how you can change his direction. It also might be better to have your sword actually turned. If your sword is turned the right way, you'd be able to hit the switch and close them in. I can't demonstrate that because I don't have my sword turned the right way. But the end of this room challenge clear is going to say we have to clear this room without using this west arrow. And I used it. So, what do we do to actually not use that west arrow. What can we do? How else can we kill this snake? Because once this snake gets into this room, there's no way to kill it, right? Well, that's somewhat right. First, let's wait for this snake to actually get farther down. Then we go ahead and follow this snake right here. And we want to wait until that snake finally decides to go in there like a good boy. And we want to keep diagonal jumping to outrun this snake right here. Hopefully fast enough to close the door on this fellow. And as you see, the door would close, except this other snake is being a pain in the neck. So we continue doing what we're doing. We want to basically be on his tail. Now we can kill that one, and when that one finally comes back, yeah, he'll go kill himself. So that's how you do that challenge without using the west arrow. You have to basically not hit the switch right away, not be so hasty. The rest of these guys are pretty much common sense for the most part. We can kill this one the same way we killed, or we can kill that left one the same way we used to kill that one. We can get that one to go up there the same way that the other one go. Hopefully he will actually decide to go in that hole. Maybe not. Sometimes these guys are iffy. I really don't get them sometimes. Anyway, I want to actually go and not do that. Wow, this is like... Oh, this is like a nightmare. You could get yourself trapped by those guys, as you can tell. So... I say so a lot. I just realized that. But now that we hit the switch, the snake will die to his unraveling death. I'm trying to make that sound poetic. It wasn't. But standing here usually gets them to go in there. I feel like that's the only way you can get them to go in there. Maybe it's right here. No, that makes them go back. You guys are so iffy. How do you guys work? Now I see why people get confused by movements. It's just because they're... Work with me! Yeah, I don't really get them fully either. So, okay. You, why don't you want to go down with me? Why do you insist on going up? Okay, then we're going up. Thank you. Took you long enough. Jeez, I thought I was going to have to go on some, like, killing spree or something. Don't you dare go in there. Well, whatever. So now we can just bait him up here like the last one. Like so, and then finally, the worm that turned, which is basically like, whew. So yeah. And to show the sign, don't step on the westernmost force arrow, sorry. And so I think I'll leave it at a standstill and end it off there. And next time, we will do this room, which may seem difficult, and trust me, it is. This is actually going to be the hardest room in the entire floor. And this is actually one of my favorite songs for the garden area, so I'm sad that I have to end the part on my favorite song. I would love to listen to the song more. The song is just amazing. I love it. I don't know. I'm weird. So, next time, we'll continue level 7, and actually we'll finish it in the next part. So, see you then.